image file formats and web browsers continue to evolve, and now the WebP file format that was introduced by Google enjoys almost universal browser support. All the major browsers, Chrome, Edge, Safari, and Firefox, support WebP, and in general, you can produce better compression both in lossy and lossless formats with alpha transparencies using WebP. WebP is now natively supported within Photoshop as well, and there are other file formats that might be coming that might supersede WebP, including the AVIF or JPEG XL formats, but those aren't natively supported in Photoshop, although there are plugins for AVIF. Given that WebP is now available in over 95% of the browsers that people use, it's being used on the web commonly, and Photoshop can save to WebP. However, you can't use the traditional exporting tools such as Save for Web or Export As because those tools are limited to JPEG, GIF, and PNG files. The way that you would save to WebP is through the option to use File, Save a Copy. So under Save a Copy, we would change the Save As type away from Photoshop to the WebP file format. And I could then save a copy of this sort of beach photo, I'll call it, .webp. I'll go ahead and hit save, and it will give me an option for WebP in terms of how I want to compress this image. And I've got a lossless option, meaning that I don't actually want to compress or chunk any of the pixel data. And then I have a lossy option that will produce smaller file sizes, and I have a quality slider that I can adjust from 100 to 0 in this case. So I'll go ahead and choose a high quality setting here, 80, and see what kind of performance I get. I saved a second version of that photo, Beach Photo 2, as a JPEG file format using 80 quality in JPEG, and that ended up with a file size of basically 133K, whereas the WebP file size was 44K. So some significant file savings. Opening those photos back within Photoshop, here's the JPEG version, and here is the WebP version. So we can compare those back and forth. I do think the JPEG version at 80 quality is a slightly better quality photo. The WebP to me is slightly degraded, but it's very close. And certainly I could change the compression amounts within WebP. Given the savings in file size, I have some room to play in terms of the compression amount. Here are these photos open within a web browser, and you can see that the Firefox web browser that I have open is supporting both opening the WebP photo as well as, of course, the JPEG photo as it has historically. And while browsers can open the WebP photo, not all photo editing software or sort of default software within your computer system for viewing files or galleries necessarily support WebP as of yet, although it's robustly supported on the web. It is really meant to be a web file format, and that's how you can save to WebP. And if you are adding this image to a web page, you do so just like you would a JPEG through the image tag or as a background image.